Hey guys, welcome to Franklin Woodworks. I'm finally going to do something I've wanted to do for a couple of years, and that's build a miter saw station that will not only be big enough to handle just about anything I need to cut, but also have tons of storage. I've needed to do this for a long time, but to be honest, it's such a big job, I just haven't been looking forward to it. But I finally ran out of excuses. So here we go. Because I had to move stuff around in the shop to make room for this project, I didn't have enough room inside to break down the plywood, so I had to do it outside. My camera also went dead while I was cutting everything to final size, but that would have been boring to watch anyway. I'm not going to bore you with details of how I build cabinet carcasses. If you really want to know, Jay Bates has an excellent video on just that, and that's how I learned anyway. I think it's enough to say that I used pocket holes and a nail gun. And I did some things that saved me some plywood, and I'll tell you about that as we go along. But I will tell you a little bit about the layout of the cabinets, and what I was thinking as I put this thing together. For the whole build, I'm not going to use face frames, so my tolerances on squareness are going to have to be dead on. On the left side of the miter saw, I have two carcasses that I'm connecting with aprons screwed in from the side, and this will help support the top that will tie the two carcasses together. So between the two cabinets will be where I keep a trash can. That alone will be a huge improvement to my shop. I've been stepping over trash cans for way too long. I attach the top from underneath after I make some cutouts for pipes that run vertically on the wall. The cabinet itself will be offset from the wall to allow for my dust collection pipe that I'll run along the floor. Before I can put the cabinets on the right side of where the miter saw will go, I've got to move some more stuff, and the old miter saw station has to be taken apart. On the right side of the miter saw are two large carcasses and one skinny one. The skinny one is going to be my blade storage. All of the other cabinets will have drawers, probably two cabinets with deep drawers and two cabinets with shallow ones. For the cabinets that go on top of the work surface, I decided to try something I haven't seen before, although I admit I haven't looked very hard. This is one of the things that saved me some plywood. Normally I would have made 3 carcasses on each side, then screwed them together. But I'm only building 2 per side and joining them together with bracing using a variety of methods, pocket holes, screwing in from the side, and a nail gun, mainly because I didn't think it through before I started. But it all worked out in the end. Along the way, I had a few times where the plywood split, even though I pre-drilled all the holes. To fix this, I shot in some thick CA glue, backed out the screw, added a clamp, and drove the screw back in. Worked like a champ. I made sure that the top cabinets were placed in exactly the same place on each of the bottom cabinets, and I screwed them down so that they would stay put. I'm very glad that I used Jay's idea with T-nuts and carriage bolts as an adjustment feature on the bottom of the cabinets. Turns out I had about 1.5 inches of slope in my basement floor over the 12-foot length of the miter saw station. Getting the two sides in line and level with each other was a huge pain. I think I spent about 2 hours just on this part of the process. I decided to put in dust collection, and I'm going to use a collection of ideas on that, and will probably be the subject of a future video. I had to run more pipe along the floor to tie into my dust collector, and I cut a hole in the back of the plywood where the miter saw will be. I also used some gutter screen in between the dust fitting and the plywood, so small chunks of wood wouldn't be able to get into the dust collection system. So to mount that screen, I had to sandwich the screen in between 2 pieces of plywood, using a really thick adhesive to make sure that the connection was sealed. I finished off the edges that would see the most abuse with oak. All of the other plywood edges will eventually be covered with drawer fronts or cabinet doors. And a little hint for the next video, I'm going to do something very unusual with the doors on the top cabinets. You'll want to stay tuned for that. Hope you'll give this video a thumbs up, give it a share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and there you go.